Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. In this video, I'm going to take 10 common rocks that anybody can find. I'm going to cut them in half. We're going to look at the insides. On this video, I got some rocks from Corrine out in Utah, and she sent some really nice ones here, and it was kind of hard to choose because she sent some extras. So I got these rocks right here. Let's take a closer look at them. So these are the rocks that Corrine sent me from Utah, and she was nice enough to tape little notes to them to help kind of identify them, which I really appreciate because obviously I don't live in Utah, so I don't know what all the rocks are out there. So let's look at this one first. So she had argillite on this one, and it looks like argillite, like the same stuff I pick here. Kind of heavy though, don't get it wet. I like the color and the greenish with the stripes in there. I'm hoping it feels heavy, like I said, so we should get a good shine out of that. All right, this one here, she had chert. So, not seeing any conchoidal fractures in it, but that don't really mean nothing. It's got a lot of pits and fractures in it, and again, that probably don't mean nothing either once you cut it open. Kind of a nice soothing tan color. Looks like it's got some white. Hopefully it's got some cool patterns on the inside. All right, this one was silicified sandstone. And I like the pattern on this. I already know exactly how I'm going to cut this thing. So we'll see how that looks. And this one is quartzite. Got some pattern going through there. Hopefully it goes through the whole rock. That's what it looks like wet. Kind of liking that. Liking that. I think it's got some yellow in it. We shall see. Got a big old chunk of chalcedony she had written on there. And I think that's going to have some awesome pattern. I bet you it's going to be really hard too, but that's okay. Hard stones shine well. Yeah, look at that. And then we had another piece of chert here. And let's see what we got. That almost looks like it's got some grainy stuff going on in there. It's got this black line running through there like that. So that should be another shiny one. And then we got a piece of potassium feldspar. Now feldspar, I pick up a lot of feldspar here, and usually you can tell feldspar if I can get a, well, I got it all wet now, but if you rotate feldspar around, you'll get little reflections like that right there. Well, that's wet. Well, we probably won't see that. We'll take a close look at that, but it's got flat spots on it that'll reflect light, especially if you're outside or on the beach or whatever. Got a nice little orange color going there with some quartz in there, it looks like. So, hoping for a cool inside. And we got a piece of quartzite with chalcedony maybe. Yeah, it looks kind of quartzite. Got some lines running through there. Yep. And got a piece of fine grain quartzite. Usually quartzite shines really nice. Got some subtle patterns going on in there. Yeah, we'll check that out. And then we got a piece of silicified sandstone. Got another highly patterned rock here. I'm liking that. If it's hard enough, it'll make a good shine. I'm pretty sure it will. But we'll cut that and determine that. So. All right, I'm going to gather these rocks up. We're going to go downstairs and we're going to saw them open and see what's inside. All right, we're downstairs on my 10-inch high-tech diamond trim saw. And I want to show you before we get started here. This is a 10-inch continuous rim sintered diamond blade. Got that out. And it's absolutely not sharp. It cuts with tiny diamonds. It don't cut with a sharp blade like a wood saw. And I'm rubbing my thumb on it right now. Like that. And if you look, it don't even cut the glove. So I will not cut my fingers on this blade. The other thing I do is you got to kind of expose more diamonds, so I use an old grinding disc and run it through 3 times to dress the blade so I can cut these rocks here. So let's get started. Alright, first up is this one here. I'm just going to cut the face off of it. Alright, episode 41, let's see what we got. Ooh. Yeah, I'm liking the green. That's nice. Okay, next up we got this one here. And I think I'm just going to split it right down the middle. Ooh, that took a while. Let's see what we got. Ooh. Yeah, I'm liking that. It feels pretty smooth too. Okay. Now we'll talk about these rocks a little bit more upstairs, so I'm not going to hang on, discuss them a lot down here. Alright, same thing. I'm going to cut this side off right here. Okay, pattern and color. Nice green. I like the stripes. Awesome. Alright, got this guy here, and I'm going to cut this side off right here. Kind of interested to see what this one looks like on the inside. Oh, nice. Okay. Alright, got this one here. And I can kind of see there's some stripes going this way. So I'm going to cut this side off here. Alright, let's take a look inside. Ooh. See? There's some quartz pockets in there. Wow. Okay. Alright, got this guy here. I'm just going to cut it right across like that. Alright, I'm kind of interested in this one. Let's see what we got. Okay. Kind of almost like a conglomerate. Got a lot of neat looking stuff in there. Alright. Got this piece here. I'm gonna cut this side off here. See what we got. Kind of cool. It's actually a white spot right there. I thought it was full. Okay. And we got this one here. I'm gonna cut this side off here. Imagine the inside's going to look kind of like the outside. Okay. So, kind of looking at it, I might, when I make the cab, I might come back and cut this side off here. Looks like it's got a little pattern going on there. We'll see. Got this one here. I'm thinking I'm just going to cut it right across there. See what we got. Oh, look at that. Okay. Definitely look at that one closer. Alright, got this one here. I'm going to touch up my blade because this looks like it's kind of hard, and I'm going to cut it lengthwise like that. right, we're going in her just like this. Well, that took a minute or so. Let's see what we got. Okay. Oh, the stripe. I don't feel anything on the stripe there, so that'll definitely be in the cab. All right, I got a couple bonus rocks here that didn't make the cut because Green sent some really nice looking rocks. So this is a piece of petrified wood, and I'm gonna split it right down the middle. All right, kind of broke apart, but let's see what we got. Okay. Ooh, nice, liking that. All right. This is another one I really wanted to see what was inside this one here, and it didn't make the cut. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this edge off here. Take a look. Ooh, wow. That does, yeah, it kind of looks like it on the outside, but well, that's kind of cool. Now I'm not going to make a cap for the video out of this one or that one, but I will make cabs out of them, but you won't see it on the video. All right, so let's take these upstairs and take a close look at them. Okay, Kareen sent some really good looking rocks here from Utah. So let's we'll start with this one here. I'm gonna rinse the crumbs off a little bit. So this is the piece of argillite. That's what she had on there. That's what the outside looked like. Look at that. Nice green with that contrasting kind of rusty reddish color going on in there. That's going to make an awesome looking cab. I might have to cut off. This one's kind of wedged out a little thin here, so I'll probably take another slab off and do that. I'm liking that. All right, got this chert. That's what she had. Now here's another one. You look at it, think, yellow rock, whatever. And then you cut it open and look at that. It's got quartz veins running through there. Nice pattern. Got a few cracks in there, but we'll figure out how to work around them. I'm kind of liking that. That's pretty. All right. We had this silicified sandstone. It had some nice colors going on in it. Look at that. I was kind of hoping this all went through the inside, and it did. Got nice color and nice pattern. There's the outside again. Like I say, here's another one. I cut it a little thin there, so I might have to, I'll take another slab off of this for the cab. Got this one here. Quartzite. Now you look at the outside and go, yeah, okay, this is what it should look like on the inside. And it did. And it feels nice and solid. I thought maybe this was a crack, this one right here. It looks like it's, well, there's a crack right, this is a crack right here, but this one right here is solid. So we just have to watch out for this one here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, got this big old dude here. Now I'm going to probably cut this up some more. I just wanted to cut the end off, and that's what it kind of looked like, because I was seeing these little spots right here, and I thought, well, maybe that was on the inside, but it looks like it was just on the outside. You got some colorful stuff going on in here. So I might chop it the other way and dig in here and see if I can find some good cabbing material. This is okay, but I'd like to see what else this rock has to offer here. It's got some stuff going on here. She had chalcedony on this, And it was kind of hard. It's got some good looking stuff over here. I probably should have cut this side off instead of this side, but I thought, I don't know. It's hard to say sometimes. Sometimes you hit it right and sometimes you don't. But I think that's only on the surface, this right here. But I don't know. I think I got high hopes for this one. We got another piece of chert here. Kind of an interesting green color. And it had this stripe running through it, both sides. And was able to get the stripe. Actually, there's another stripe right there. And they look solid. And it, you know, and these lines here, you can kind of see into the rock right here. So this should make a cool looking cab. And a green, you know, kind of a soft greenish color. Yeah. We had this big old chunk of, she had potassium feldspar. Definitely feldspar, I could see that. To me, if I found this rock here, I'd say feldspar and quartz. You know, it would be kind of like a granite. They had some nice white lines and stuff. I just cut the end off here. I got the pattern is interesting. I think it's kind of hard. It's a lot more orange. I think, you know, my lighting don't really do this thing justice here. But I think it's going to make a nice looking cab. I don't see a lot of cracks or pits in it. All right, here is the sleeper one right here. The quartzite with chalcedony. Now, this is another one you look at. It's got a couple stripes on it. Yeah, it's okay. Look at that. It's almost got like rays running out from the center. The color on the inside almost looks like it's got moss in it. I think this is my favorite rock going into this one. I think it's going to shine nicely. All right, we had this other green one here, another quartzite. And quartzite, usually you get really good shines out of quartzite. You know, anything with quartz in it will shine well. Had some nice smooth white stripes running across the face and stuff here. Another green one. Nice smooth cut. Now I'll just incorporate these stripes in there, make a cool looking cab. A little brownish. Kind of, you can see it good in the camera. Kind of, when you look around the camera, it don't really show up well. Okay, there's that one. And had this piece of solidified sandstone. I like the pattern on it, and it looks like sandstone, but it's really heavy. Look at that. I think that is going to make a pretty cab. Right, so these are the 10 rocks. I'll make cabochons out of them, and you'll see them in episode 42. So I cut a couple bonus rocks here. Real quick, we'll look at these. I really wanted to see what was inside of them, and since I was cutting these rocks, I just threw these on at the end. So I believe this is a piece of petrified wood. It kind of crumbled up on me, but got some cool looking pattern in there, but it's got a lot of cracks in it. So I don't know if I'll be able to do anything, you know, substantial with it. It's got a little agate pocket going on in there, but it's what it looked like on the outside. On the inside, at least you can see the grains in there. A lot of times you get petrified wood and they look cool on the outside, you cut them open and they're black. And then this one here, this is another one. I should have put it in the video because I like the way the outside looked. I thought maybe it was a little on the soft side. Look at that. Ain't that cool? So, and I won't make a cabochon, you know, for this video here. You know, if I get one done, I'll show it in the video, but it's not a guarantee. But that is a cool looking rock. So, I'd like to thank Corrine for sending these rocks here. A lot of cool ones. And she sent a lot of slabs and extra stuff. It was awesome. I'll be making a lot of cabs with these rocks here. So let's turn the camera around. Or no. We got some cabochons to look at. Let's move these wet ones out of the way, and we'll look at the cabochons from episode 40. So stand by. All right, we cleared those wet rocks out of the way from episode 41. Now let's look at the cabochons I made from episode 40. Here are the rocks, much smaller than the rocks we just looked at, But they made some pretty cool cabs. So this is the first one that got cut. Get a little water on it so you can kind of remind you what it looked like after it got cut. Now this one actually had copper in it. I don't know if it's real fine copper. It's mostly in this red where the jasper is down here, but it was kind of cool looking rock. Had some spots on it, pretty solid. So here is the cabochon I made. Really nice shine. Like the contrast. There's the front. There's the back. There's the original rock. And there's the cabochon I made out of it. All right, this one here had these little stripes running through there, but it had a lot of issue, a lot of fractures and voids and stuff in there. But I thought it was pretty cool looking. So here's the cab. Nice pattern in there, but we got a lot of, the voids and stuff are popping up all over the place. Really nice shine. There's the back. There's the front. There's the original rock, and there is the cabochon. Right, this was a little rock I picked up. Had quartz, or not quartz, jasper and hematite mixed in there, and a little bit of quartz. And actually what I did was I made, both sides were shaped like this, natural shape, so I cabbed both sides. There's one side, there's the other side. This side here had a little fracture in it right there, but man, it's just packed full of hematite, and you can see hematite right there, and jasper, and then a little quartz. There's the back. A little chunk fell out right here, but it's on the back side. There's the front. I was really kind of impressed with that. That's why you pick up the little rocks, because sometimes can be very impressive as well. A lot of hematite. Pretty cool. This one here had, I don't know what the green stuff is in this. I'm probably going to lean towards epidote. And then it had quartz, I thought, but it was actually prehnite, because this is full of copper. Real fine copper. I don't know if you can see it here. I can see it when I look around the camera, but it's there, I promise you. And it's got kind of a pink coloration to it. Man, an absolutely pretty cabochon. Look at that. Really shiny. Got a good shine out of it. Got pink and got some green with some pattern in there. There's the back. There's the front. There's the original rock, and there is the cabochon I made out of it. Here's another one that was packed full of copper. See if I can show you some here. You can kind of see it. There's a bunch of it up in here, and it looks like prehnite, and then another green rock, probably related to this one right here. And again, here's the cabochon. Nice shine, a little undercutting in some of the green stuff. You can kind of see a little fuzzy right there, but then overall, I like it. You can kind of see the copper here, but you can really see the copper on this side. Every little fleck you see in there, that's pure copper. But, I was kind of impressed. I like that one. Here's the original rock, and there's the cab I made out of it. So I called this a piece of granite, but I don't know. I had some comments in there. It could have been epidote too, or it could be epidote, but to me it looks like granite, so I'm going to stick with that. Kind of cool pattern. Got 3 good colors working in there. There you go. Made an absolutely gorgeous cabochon though. Really nice shine. I like the different colors in there. I got that thick piece that shot down in there. Got it in there. You can see it right here on this side. Pretty good. There's the back. There's the front. There's the original rock, and there is the cabochon I made out of it. This is another little rock I picked up on the beach, cut it in half. Had this chunk of jasper on it, and then the host rock, I don't know if that, I'm pretty sure that's basalt. Had a lot of pits and stuff in there, so I was a little concerned about this one here. But whatever the host rock is, it shined just as well as the rest of it. Look at the shine on that. Got a few pits in there, but I think I'm going to let this one go because the pits are hard to see because it's in the dark gray stuff, but look at that. That's beautiful. There's the back side. There's the front side. Really nice shine. I like the pattern on it. There is the original rock, and there's the cabochon. A piece of epidote here. And this is another one the viewers said, well, this is kind of borderline unakite because of this spot right there. But I'm going to call it epidote. Had a nice solid streak, and then different textures on both sides of the line. Here's the cabochon. Nice shine. It's kind of a little broken up, a little undercutting. There must have been some soft stuff in there, but man, I don't know. And I managed to get that stripe kind of running across the top there. And then a little of the lighter colored stuff there. You can see it over here. There's the back. Here's the front. There's the original rock, and there is the cabochon. All right, here's another one I cut in half, and I had issues with this. I didn't use this side because it had this giant pit here, and it kind of dropped off thin, but I like the pattern in it because it was quartz with jasper. It was really pretty, and it was pretty solid on the inside as well. So I made one shape about the size of this rock, and I just couldn't do it. I had to go down, step down one shape, and actually it turned out really well. It's kind of small, but the shine's super good. You got quartz, jasper, and there was hematite in there. That silvery stuff right there is hematite, if you can see that. So there's the back. There's the front. There's the original rock, and there's the cabochon I made out of it. And then there's another one here I cut and made natural shape. It was a piece of banded ironstone. There wasn't a lot left of it because I was trying to preserve the pretty side. And it had a tiny little bit of hematite in there. I can keep focus here. Little hematite band on the bottom, but the jasper stripes in there were just intense. Here's the cabochon. Nice shine. Got a really good pattern with the jasper and stuff in there. And this one worked out well. And there was a fracture in there I was kind of worried about, and that I ground that away. That disappeared. So there's the back. There's the front. There is the cab, and there is the original rock. All that's left of it anyways. So all these will be available on the Etsy store, except probably this one here. I'm probably going to dud this one out because it's got too many cracks in there for me. But let me know what your favorite was. I really appreciate it. I read all the comments, so if you got a favorite, let me know. So let's finish this up. Well, I'd like to thank Corrine for sending those rocks from Utah. There's some really nice rocks looking in there, and good looking rocks in there, and she sent a lot of rocks. So I tried to pick out the interesting ones. Obviously there's probably more interesting ones in there than I picked out, but I did what I did. Then I threw 2 bonus rocks in there, because I wanted to see what was inside those. And then I hope you enjoyed looking at the cabs, Lake Superior rocks. A lot of hematite, a lot of jasper in there, and a lot of copper. So like I said, all those will be on Etsy sooner or later. So let me know what you think about the rocks that Corrine sent from Utah. Leave a comment on there to tell me what your favorite ones were. And then same thing with the rocks with the cabochons. Let me know. So thanks, I'd like to thank the viewers and subscribers out there. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. There's a little button down below, press that. I'd really appreciate it. And slide over, give me a thumbs up to get the analytics out there so more people can find this content. And then you can share it, you can hyperlink it, and you can push the bell button to get notified when the new videos come out. So appreciate you coming along, watching me cut these rocks in half and show you the cabochons I make out of these rocks. This video comes out every Wednesday, and I have another video comes out every Saturday where I make a cabochon from a single rock and I take you through my whole process. So thanks for coming along, thanks for watching, that's all I got, and I'll catch you later.